Hey everybody, Varun here from 𝗥𝗲𝗃𝗍. Guys, very excited to be back. This is going to be a very special video. I'm going to share something very special with all of you out there. I have worked on and I have designed a 14-day success plan, which if you follow it religiously, 120% success is going to be yours. I have designed the tasks you need to practice on everyday basis, how many you have to attempt each and every day, and when you should take the mock test and how you have to evaluate your mock test. Let's get started. 14-day success plan. If you follow, you are going to get 79 plus or 65 plus, whatever you are aiming for. Now make sure before you watch this video, you need to be very committed. Don't just waste your time. If you want to get the score, then only watch the video. Otherwise, don't worry about watching it. Right? Let's move on. Let's start how you have to take each and every question, each and every task, how much you have to practice, how much time you have to put in, and what are the things which are important. Now, very first thing, few of the tasks which I consider are not very important or not important at all. I won't be asking you to practice any of those. Don't worry about that. Let's go through the 14 days plan and see what we have got in the plan. And on the very first day, let's have a look over here. Now, as you can see on your screen, day one, you have to start with your speaking. You have to start with your speaking. Very first thing you need to do is you read aloud. You have to do 20 of these. Now a lot of students do neglect this one. Why? Because they think that yes, it's fine, it's not a very important task. But remember this thing, this is going to give you a lot of points in your reading section as well. So you all need to make sure that you are speaking clearly. Don't just focus on speaking, focus on your clarity as well, focus on your content as well. If your content is not 100%, you are going to struggle. Now, one more thing, before you start following this plan, you need to make sure you watch all the strategy videos. I'll post the link in the description box. Means you should know what all the tasks are all about, what you are expected to do in this particular task. Because if you're just following a plan, but you have, your base is not that good, you have not even attended the strategy classes, don't know how the marking works, what the task description is, things can be difficult. Make sure you watch the strategy videos, and once you feel like yes, I know what PTE is now, I need to practice, this is the plan you need to follow. Let's get back over here. Then after read aloud, you have to make sure you practice 25 repeat sentences. Repeat sentence is very important, as this is going to give you a lot of points in your listening section. Read a lecture 5, reading drag and drop blanks, 20 of these. You can practice on our online portal as well. There are a number of questions over there, pretty similar to the exam questions. You can practice there. I'll post the link to the portal as well. Make sure you keep on practicing. Otherwise, you can practice on YouTube, the number of videos as well. Let's move on. Then you have to practice read a lecture from your speaking section. You have to practice 5 of these. Reading drag and drop blanks, 20 please. Make sure these are perfect. Very important. Summarize spoken text, one of the tasks which I find a lot of students are making mistakes in. They just follow a template, they just follow any template they get anywhere from their friend or anywhere. See guys, template is not something which will help you. Template is going to help you if you use the template properly. If you just apply the template without even knowing what the template is about, things can be difficult. So if you're following any template in summarize spoken text, make sure you know how you have to use it and add enough and appropriate and relevant keywords in the template. Right from dictation, I call this the king. This is very important. 25 of these on your very first day. Once you are done with your day one, you have to make sure you just tick yes on the right hand side. Let's come to your day two. Read aloud again. I want you to practice read aloud, repeat sentences, and write from dictation every day, because if you miss these 3 tasks in your exam, things can be difficult. There are very high chances you will miss out by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points in your exam. So we have to make sure that these three tasks we are 100% and we nail them on our exam day. All right, read aloud 20, repeat sentence 25, read a lecture 5, reading reorders 15, reading and writing blanks 20, summarize spoken text 2 of these, and write from dictation 25. Now I'll quickly tell you what you have to do while you practice. What are the things you need to keep in mind while you practice? Read aloud while you practice. Make sure you are going in a moderate pace. Don't go too fast, too slow. Make sure you're taking natural pauses as well. Another thing, what you need to focus on, make sure you speak the words properly, clearly. you'll get a lot of words with S sound at the end, or ED sound at the end, right? Or Z sound at the end. Make sure the S sound or ED sound at the end of the words is there, the sound should be there. If not, let's say there's a word called colors and you're saying color, you will lose points in reading for that. So be very careful with this. Repeat sentences, your fluency is important, your clarity is important, but your content is very important. If you get a sentence which is 13 words long and you're not even repeating half of it, you're going to lose a lot of points in listening. So try to repeat as much as content as possible. Retell lectures, make sure you speak enough keywords and speak in a fluent manner. Make sure you give a conclusion at the end. Go around 35 seconds, you'll do your job. Reading reorders and reading and writing blanks. Once you practice, make sure you establish the logical sequence in reorders. Follow all the strategies I have given in the strategy class. The video is on YouTube as well. Another thing, reading and writing blanks, follow all the grammatical rules I have given you in the video I posted a month ago, I guess. Follow all the rules and try to understand the context and be very careful with your collocations as well. Summarize spoken text, as I've told you, be very careful with your content, keywords, and your spellings and grammar. Write from dictation 25 at least every day. If you can practice more, that's well and good, but at least 25 every day, please. Alright, let's move on to day 3. Day 3 it is. We'll start with read aloud 20, repeat sentence 25, read a lecture 5, reading reorders 15, reading and writing blanks 20, summarize spoken text 2, almost the same as day 2, but what I have added for you over here, listening, fill in the blanks. Very, very important. We have to practice 10 of these. Now, why this is very important? Because this is giving you points in listening and in writing section. A lot of points in both listening and writing section. Make sure you are practicing this properly. You are maintaining a spelling list. I see a lot of students, they practice listening blanks. Out of 5, they've got 2 spellings incorrect and they move on to the next question. No point, you're just wasting your time. It's not efficient. If you want to be productive and you want that is you progress day by day, you improve day by day, very first day, what you have to do at the end of your notebook, maintain 10 pages in your notebook. You have to leave and write all the spellings you write or you have written or you have typed incorrectly in the answer. Even if it was a spelling error, typing error, make sure you write the incorrect spelling and the correct spelling so that you don't repeat the same spelling mistakes. Again, spellings are very, very crucial when it comes to PTE and especially listening, fill in the blanks. Be very careful with spellings. Another thing which you need to be careful about in listening, fill in the blanks is that if there's any blank right after full stop or question mark, you have to start it with a capital alphabet. If there's any proper noun such as name of a person, place, organization, you have to capitalize that as well. If there's any S sound or ED sound at the end of the word, you have to write that as well. So please be very careful with all these things. Alright, write from dictation 25. Make sure write from dictations are 100% perfect. Very, very important. Day 4, read aloud 20, repeat sentences 25, read a lecture 5. Summarize written text is something I've added for the first time on day 4. I've introduced it on day 4, 2 of these. What are the things you need to consider in summarize written text? Very easy task. I'm telling you, it is very, very easy task and scoring as well. This is going to give you points in reading and writing, and this is very important. Why it is very important? Because it's time, you don't really spend a lot of time and you get a lot of points over here. Not difficult at all. Just follow the right pattern. 4 things which I need you to consider when you are writing your answer. First thing, you have to make sure you at least add 7 to 9 keywords from the passage in your answer. Next thing which I need you to be very careful about, you have to make sure you proofread your answer properly. Your answer should be between 5 to 75 words. I normally recommend students to write around 50, 55, 60 words. That's fine. And make sure there's only one full stop, that is at the end of the sentence. There shouldn't be any kind of question mark or dot or full stop in the middle of the sentence anywhere. Only one full stop, that should be at the end of the sentence. That is what you need to care about. Very easy task. Make sure you proofread properly. There shouldn't be any spelling errors, please. Alright. After summarize written text, reading and writing blanks, be very careful with your collocations. Listening blanks, as I've told you, spellings are very important. Highlight incorrect word is something I've introduced on day 4 as well. Very important task. a lot of time I see students don't even give him this task because this sounds very easy. It's not that easy it sounds. Why? PT, what I've seen recently, they just keep on complicating this task again and again. They'll add background noises, the audio will be too fast, all of a sudden it will go zap very fast. So you have to be very careful that you practice this as well. Once you practice, while you practice, you have to make sure you increase the speed of the audio to at least 1.2 times, right? Increase the speed of the audio. Why is that? So that in exam, if you get something which is very difficult, you should be able to figure it out. You should be able to do it very easily, right? Another thing, make sure you practice 5 to 10 of these as well and increase the speed to 1.2. There's negative marking over here, so in case you're not really sure if the word was there or it wasn't there, don't select it. Please do not select it. It's better not to select it rather than selecting the wrong thing, because if you select something which wasn't there, you lose point for that, and you will lose points for the things you are doing correct, because there will be -1 and it will be deducted from the points you have gained by selecting the right options or right words, I'll say. So be very careful. If you're not sure, do not select it. And then you've got right from dictations, 25 of these every day. Day 5, repeat sentences as it is 25. Describe image I've introduced on day 5. Not very difficult task, but somewhat scoring. It gives you points in speaking and good amount of points in speaking, right? Now, what are things you need to consider and care about in describe image? Very first thing, you need to make sure you speak enough keywords. You give conclusion at the end. You speak around 35 seconds and you speak in a fluent manner. Don't confuse being fluent with being fast. If I'm speaking very fast like this, that doesn't really mean I'm fluent. You have to make sure you speak at a moderate pace. Take natural pauses. Do not take any unnatural pauses. Do not hesitate, avoid hesitations, and just go at a moderate pace in a smooth manner. With a fluent tone, you'll be fine. Speak around 35 seconds. Give a conclusion at the end. Just say to conclude overall, whatever you want to say. And make sure you speak enough keywords from the image. Your content is somewhat important as well. Alrighty. Let's move on to next one, which is summarize written text. Again, so read a lecture, summarize written text, and essay. Essay is something I've introduced over here as well. One essay. Essay is one thing. A lot of students keep on practicing essays because they consider this exam to be pretty similar to IELTS. In IELTS, we used to write a lot of essays. Guys, be very practical. Out of your 90 points in writing, essay is only going to contribute 10 points. It is important. I'm not really telling you that yes, you shouldn't care about 10 points. Very crucial you practice this as well. But don't waste a lot of time, right? We have to focus on tasks which are going to give us 80 points, rest of the 80 points as well. So be very careful, be focused, and focus on tasks. Play smart. You have to be very smart. I don't really want you to work hard. I want you to work smartly, right? So this is one thing I really need you to worry about. Essay, don't worry much. Just follow the template if you have the template. If not, you can see the template in the writing essay video which I have shared on YouTube. You can just search writing essay PTE essay by Varun or by Language Academy. You'll get the template. Just follow the template. Practice it once or twice, you'll be fine. Make sure you add relevant content to the topic. Template, a lot of time I get this complaint. I use the same template, my friend used the same template. He got the score, I haven't got the score. See, template is not something which will get you the score. It's how you use the template that will get you the score. So whenever you're following any template, make sure you know how you have to use it, and then only you go ahead with it, right? That was your essay. Then we have got reading, reorder paragraphs, reading, writing blanks, summarize spoken text, same thing. Fill in the blanks 5 and write from dictation 25. I'll add a PDF form of this 14-day plan in the comment section. It's pretty similar, some minor changes. You can download that as well, and that will be easy for you while you're practicing to tick mark the things you have done, and you can keep a track of each and everything, right? Day 6. Repeat sentences 25, describe images 10, written lecture 5, written text 2. Now I have introduced reading MCQ single answers and multiple answers, and 10 of these, 10 of each. I don't consider these two very important, but again, just to get some idea what this task is all about, let's practice 10 of these as well before we actually go for the exam. Don't waste a lot of time over here, not very important. Don't spend more than 1 minute per reading MCQ. Worst case 1 minute. Please don't spend more than that. Alright, rest of the tasks are same. Let's come on to day 7, which is our individual mock test day. Individual mock test day, what does this means? The time has come, you need to evaluate yourself whether you are improving or not. Are you improving or not? You need to figure this thing out, and you need to figure what are the areas and what are the sections you're struggling in, and what are the tasks you need to focus on, and what you have to improve. What you have to do, you have to take 4 individual mock tests: speaking, reading, listening, and writing. You don't really need to take complete mock test, just take 4 individual mock tests and evaluate it by yourself, or if you have someone who is teaching you, your tutor or any expert, make sure you ask the person to evaluate your answers and tell you what are your weaknesses and how to improve on the same. A lot of time I see students practicing, but their direction is not correct. If your direction is not correct, but you're practicing again and again, over and over again, there's no point of doing it. You need to know what are the weaknesses, what are the mistakes you're making, and how to improve on the same. If you don't know the weaknesses, you'll be just practicing on the wrong areas, and despite the fact you are, it will be like pushing a wall. You will put in your hard work, you won't get any results from it. In order to get the results, you need to know the weaknesses, ask someone or evaluate yourself what are the mistakes, what are the areas you're missing in, and based on that, you have to figure out your weaknesses. Now, once you take the mock test, you have to write your score. And let's come on to the next page, which is self-analysis. You have to figure out 4 of your areas of improvement where you're struggling. You have to write down at least 4 of your weak areas. If you have more, you can write those down as well. So 4 areas of improvement, write down over here, because we are going to need these ones in the upcoming days. All right, day 8, weak area 1 25, weak area 2 25, weak area 3 25, and weak area 4 25. Then we have got reading drag and drop blanks 20. If any of the task over here is already your weak area and we have covered, you can replace that particular task with any other task as well. Reading drag and drop blanks 20, read aloud 15, repeat sentence 20, listening summarize spoken text 2 of these, listening fill in the blanks 5, and write from dictation 25. Means the tasks which are very, very important, I'm asking you to practice those ones every day. Next day, weak area 1 and weak area 2, 25, 25, read aloud, repeat sentences, reading drag and drop blanks, reading and writing blanks, highlight, summarize spoken text, and one task which I've introduced for the first time is highlight correct summary, right? Highlight correct summary is often neglected by a lot of students, and I do understand this is not very important, but it is somewhat important because it is going to give you points in listening and reading. So what I'll recommend, before you go for the exam, at least practice 5 to 10 or 15 of these, so that you have some idea of how to solve it. And because in listening, until your audio finishes, you cannot press the next button, right? You cannot click the next button, means you have to listen the audio anyway. So it's always better the time you're putting in to listen the audio, listen it carefully, understand the meaning properly, and based on that, try to get the right answer. I don't want you to waste a lot of time over here, but because you have to listen the audio anyway, make sure you give your 120% while the audio is going on. Try to infer the meaning, understand the meaning. Based on that, select the right option. Practice around 5 of these as well. Make sure you understand the context properly in highlight correct summary. But once the audio stops, do not spend more than 40 seconds on highlight correct summary. If you do, you are going to struggle to finish off your listening section. And if you're not able to finish your listening section, you will not get the score. Because the last part of your listening section is write from dictation. And even if you miss one write from dictation, things can be pretty tight, pretty tough for you. So make sure once the audio stops, in highlight correct summary, do not spend more than 40 seconds, please. Alright, then listening fill in the blanks and write from dictation. We are on day 10 now. Weak area 3 and 4, 25, 25 each. Repeat sentences 25, describe images 10, answer short questions 50 of these. They're not very important task, but just to make sure, because we are going for the exam in next 5 days, we are on day 10. So we really need to get some idea of what all this task is about. So let's practice 50 of these. Only it will take around half a minute to practice one of these, so you'll be done in 25 minutes. Let's practice 50 of these as well. Two essays today, just to make sure we know what essay types we can get and how we have to answer these ones. Follow the template, add relevant content, you'll do your job. Reading drag and drop blanks 20, reading MCQ single and multiple both for the very first time, 10 of each, single as well as multiple. Not very important, but I really want all of you to at least practice these ones so that you have some idea of what the task is about. Listen the audio carefully, read the question properly based on the information in the audio and what the question is asking you. Please be very careful, read the question properly. A lot of time what we think is that we think that the audio and the question is all about true or false, which of the options are true and which of the following are false. Read the question properly, what the question is asking you. While your preparation time is going on, you have to read the question properly. That will help you to focus on the right part of the lecture. Once you know that what the question is being asked, you will be able to focus properly on the lecture, and as soon as the lecturer will give you the answer, it will immediately hit. You'll come to know that yes, I've got this question is being asked and he said the same thing, this is the right answer. While the audio is going on, select the right answer. Once the audio stops, move on. Do not spend more than 20 seconds once the audio stops in both MCQ and single answers. MCQ in reading and listening both, I'll recommend you do not select more than one. Only in that case where you're 100% damn sure that is these two are correct, only go for it. You can only select one option and you can get your score as well. I have done this. I have got a number of students who have only selected one, have got 90, and you can do it as well. If you select two, you waste your time, you think a lot, and you're risking it as well. Because second option is always tricky. Finding one correct answer is easy. Second option is tricky. So if you select one correct, one incorrect, you waste your time, you get 0 out of it. But if you're damn sure, you're 100% sure, you can select second one as well. But make sure you do not waste more than 20 seconds once the audio is done, once the audio stops. Then listening, select missing word, not very important task. 10 of these, just to be familiar with the task, what the task is about. Listen the audio properly. Once the audio stops, do not spend more than 10 seconds. Do not waste your time, please. And write from dictation, 25 of these as well. Day 11, we have to do a full mock test today. Take a full mock test. You can do it from our website as well. You can do from YouTube as well, I guess. But do it from a platform which will give you a real exam-like environment, so that you are 100% sure of what you expect, what is expected of you, and what you can expect on the exam day in the examination center when you sit for the exam. Once you're done with the full mock test, evaluate it by yourself or ask an expert, your tutor or your teacher, to evaluate it for you and write down the scores and identify 4 weak areas again. Make sure you see that the 4 weak areas which we identified earlier, have you improved on the same or not? If not, something needs to be done, right? Now fill your score over here, write down your score over here, and come on to day 12. Day 12 will start with first 2 weak areas, 25 each, and repeat sentences 25 as well. 10 describe images, answer short questions 50, essay 2, reading drag and drop blanks 20. Then you have got listening, summarize spoken text 3, listening fill in the blanks 10, and write from dictation 25 as well. Day 13, weak area 3 and weak area 4, 25 each, read aloud 15, repeat sentence 15, retell lecture 20, reading and writing blanks 20, summarize spoken text 2, highlight correct summary 5, listening fill in the blanks 8 of these, and write from dictation 25. So this is the least number you can practice. You have to practice as many as you can, but this is the minimum you have to practice. Doesn't matter what happens, what is the case, you have to make sure you practice at least these ones, right? All right, last day, which is your day 14, we'll start off with week area 1 and 2, 25 each. Move on to read aloud, repeat sentences, and retell lectures 20, 30, and 5. Reading reorders and blanks 15 and 20. Listening, summarize spoken text. We have to make sure we practice 2 of these as well. Listening, fill in the blanks 10, and write from dictation 25. And that's it. We are done with our 14 days. Once you're done on your day 14, you have to take another mock test, which is a full and final mock test day. You have to take the mock test and you need to evaluate yourself. What are the mistakes you're making? What improvements should be there? Are you improving on the weaknesses which you identified in your previous mock test? And how far are you with your score, and how near are you when you compare your score with your desired score. Based on this evaluation, you have to make sure you schedule your exam accordingly and then prepare on things which you still think need some improvement. But I can guarantee this, guys, if you follow this plan religiously, you'll be well prepared, you will be well versed, and you will be well aware of each and every task in which you can get in the exam, and you'll be 100% confident before you go for the exam. What I'll do is I have a PDF format of this 14-day plan. I'll attach the link to download that PDF so that it is easier for you guys. Make sure you follow it properly, and if you do get your score, do let me know. That will help me going on, will help me make many more videos, and will give me some motivation as well. I wish you guys all the best. If you have any questions, any doubts, leave them down in the comment section. I'll try to answer all of them. You can join our PTE and NAATI Telegram group as well, where we keep on posting a lot of things. I'll attach and I'll post the link in the description box or in the comment section. You can join that as well. And if you want to practice, you can anytime go on our website www.𝗥𝗲𝗀𝗍𝗃.com.au. There's a lot of practice material and mock tests as well, which you can take and nail your PT exam, get yourself used to the real exam scenario, and take the exam. Alright guys, that's it from this video. If you do like the video, if you think this was helpful and informative, please like, subscribe and share it with your friends as well. I'll be really thankful. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll be with you guys very soon. All the very best, and I'll see you very soon. Stay safe, guys.